Hello and welcome to this channel. This is Abdul Salam, and in today's lecture I'm going to talk about the concept of the gerund. So let's start the video. What is a gerund? A gerund is that form of the verb that ends in ing and has the force of both a noun and a verb. For example, reading is his pastime. Over here, reading is a gerund and it is formed from the basic verb read, and in this sentence it acts like a subject. That is why it is also acting like a noun. It is a verb and it is acting like a noun because it has been used, the word reading has been used as a subject in this sentence. Reading is his pastime. Another example, playing cards is not allowed here. Over here, the word playing is a gerund. First, it is acting like a noun because it is a subject to the verb is. Playing cards is not allowed here. It is the subject of a verb. That is why it is acting like a noun. But on the other hand, it has its own object, cards, playing cards. So over here we see that it is again acting like a verb. So a gerund acts like either a noun or a verb. It's basically a verb, but it acts sometimes like, in the same sentence, it acts like a noun and a verb. In this sentence, it is acting like both a noun by being the subject of a verb, is, and by acting like a verb by carrying an object, that is cars, playing cars. Another example, I like reading poetry. In this sentence, reading is the gerund. Now, first, reading is the object of another verb, that is like. I like reading. So by being an object of another verb, it acts like a noun. Further, reading itself has an object, that is poetry. So by having an object to itself, it acts like a verb. So first it acts like a noun and then it acts like a verb. Another example, he is fond of hoarding money. In this example, hoarding is the gerund, but it is preceded by a preposition, and prepositions, they always come before a noun. So by having a preposition before it, it acts like a noun. But further, it itself has an object, that is money, hoarding money. So again, it acts like a verb also. So in this sentence also, the gerund is working, acting like a noun and a verb. It is worth mentioning here that the gerund is the same as an infinitive in the sense that they both act as verbs and nouns. For example, and they can be used for communicating a concept. They can be interchangeably used. You can either use a gerund or an infinitive to communicate your message. For example, if you use an infinitive, you'll say, teach me to swim, to swim. Or if you want to use the gerund, you may say, teach me swimming. Another example, to see is to believe. To see is to believe, infinitive. But the same idea is communicated by using a gerund. Seeing is believing. What is a compound gerund? A compound gerund is formed by placing a past participle after the gerunds of having and being. Having and being followed by a past participle, they form a compound gerund. For example, I heard of his having gained a prize. Now, having gained is a compound gerund because first it has the gerund of having and then it is followed by the past participle of gained. Having gained is a compound gerund. We were fatigued on account of having walked so far. Having walked. They were charged with having sheltered the anarchists. Having sheltered. He is desirous of being praised. Being praised. A compound gerund. Now read and compare these two sentences. Number one, I hope you'll excuse my leaving early. Number two, I hope you'll excuse me leaving early. Now in the first sentence, the word my is in the possessive case and it is followed by a gerund leaving. And in the second sentence, the word me is in the objective case and it is again followed by a gerund. They are both correct. You can communicate this idea by using both the structures. They are both correct. Uses of the gerund. For what purposes gerunds are used? First, as the subject of a verb. For example, seeing is believing. Seeing. Gerund seeing is the subject of this sentence. Second, as the object of the transitive verb. Stop playing. Playing is this gerund and it is acting as the object of the verb stop. Third, as an object of the preposition. I am tired of waiting. Waiting is the gerund and it is the object of a preposition of. I am tired of waiting. Fourth, as the complement of the verb. Seeing is believing. Fifth, as an absolute phrase. Playing cards being his aversion, we did not play bridge. Over here, the gerund playing is used in the absolute phrase. That's all for this lecture. Thanks.